Happy Information Wednesday, Shalise McQueen here. For my teaser video, I'm talking all about personal property. How do insurance companies value it? How do they look at it? How do they replace it? Very simple. So first and foremost, personal property is considered a limit of your reconstruction cost, which is called dwelling or coverage A. And then your personal property is under what we call coverage C. Typically, it's a percentage of your reconstruction cost. With farmers, it could be 40, 50, 75%, and so on. That's pretty universal in terms of limits on personal property. However, there are a lot of items that have a underlying limit associated with them, which means that your coverage C is not exactly up for grabs. Some examples of personal property that has an underlying limit, which makes it excluded, quote unquote, from your overall insurance coverage, is things like jewelry, firearms, collectibles, fine arts, things like that. So it's really important that you take note of your inventory, what you have in those categories, and also do something which we call a floater or an added endorsement. That's going to increase your underlying coverages for those items, and of course, ensure that you are going to receive the proper payout in the event of a loss. And as it sits now, with just a standard policy, you're not going to have that. Gold alone is through the roof in terms of pricing. So the $1,500 that you probably will find on your policy is simply not going to do the trick. And also in terms of firearms, you want to make sure that your collection and your underlying limits also take in consideration your accessories and ammo, because those are also costly. In terms of your coverages and your personal property, you want to see how the insurance company is valuating these items. And you have two options with that. One valuation method is going to be actual cost value, which is basically the depreciated value. So this is not what you want to see in your insurance policy, because that is not the amount it's going to take to replace those items. What you want to see instead is something called replacement cost. That's going to give you the exact amount of money per your coverage C that it will take to replace those said items in your household. Now that you have a little bit more information in regards to your personal property coverage, again, what is the limit of coverage C? What evaluation method is the insurance company using? Is it actual cash value or is it replacement cost? And also, what are the underlying exclusions to your personal property coverage? And what do you need to maybe have some other endorsements for your protection? Once you have all that figured out, which again, I'm here to be a resource for you, so please feel free to use me. You also want to make sure that you take inventory of all of your personal belongings. A great way to do that is by going room by room and taking a photo from different angles, and also making sure you take individual photos of said collections and our higher end items like electronics, etc. I enjoyed today's conversation. Hopefully you're walking away with a little bit more information on things that you did not want to know, but now you do. Personal property is a huge thing. Again, another thing to consider when you're doing all your annual policy reviews, to make sure that you have adequate coverage. And as you acquire more things, as we do every day and every year, that those items are taken into consideration as well. Remember to use me as a resource. I'm here at 602-525-5665, or email me at cmcqueen@farmersagent.com. Remember to ask yourself, are you protected? We'll see you all next week.